Some gold penny stocks rose over 100% over the past year, fueled by political instability, a rising price of gold, and a weakening US dollar. Today, we have StrikePoint Gold, ticker SKP. They're a junior explorer looking for maybe setting themselves up for a similar surge, but this isn't financial advice. It's just a breakdown of a high risk, high reward opportunity that's catching speculators' eyes, okay? And in this video, we'll be interviewing StrikePoint Gold's CEO, and we'll ask them questions on his drill results and their recent sell-off of one of their silver properties, and the fact that they're located in a prime jurisdiction, which is Nevada in the USA. All right, Michael Allen with us today. Good to have you with us, Michael.
Good to see you again, Carlos.
Of course. I'll go right into the story. What do investors need to know about StrikePoint Gold? What's your mission, and what are you going after?
So I became the CEO of the company in November of 2022, and I've been pivoting it into more of a Nevada story, which is my strength and my background. What we've done with the company since I became CEO, we've got two big land package, district scale. The first one is something called Cuprite. It's down near Beatty, Nevada. And then we've got recently acquired our flagship asset, which is called the Hercules Gold Project, up by Reno. We've recently rolled back the stock. There's about 41.6 million shares outstanding, and we're starting to see at Hercules consistent large-scale drill results. Hercules is an exceptional project. It's about 100 square kilometers, dominantly underexplored, and so there really is a potential for a multi-million ounce discovery down there.
Right. I wanted to know as well, can you bring us back to the team? You know, we always say people invest in people, and I know your team has an extensive background in discoveries. So could you go into that and explain the management team and what they have as experience?
I mean, it is, good people attract good people, and I also, like to work with the people that I'm with. I mean, the company is largely built around me and my connections. And there's a director on the company. That's a fellow by the name of Adrian Fleming. Adrian and I have been working together since the early 2000s. Actually, it was just after Y2K that we got together and we worked on a project up in Hope Bay. Adrian was also on a project with me called Northern Empire, and we bought and sold an asset in a very short amount of time, tripled the share price, made the exit, and went from there. The team is also made up of people like Knox Henderson. He's our IR guy. He's a very experienced person. He and I worked together on another company. We acquired what's called the Hasbrook asset in Nevada. And then there's another gentleman on the team, which is Paulo Santos. He's been the CFO of Empire and a few other adventures that I've had in Nevada, or we've had, I guess is the better way of putting it.
100%. Go over the recent news that you had. You sold your Porter Silver project to Dolly Varden, which the CEO, I believe, of Dolly Varden is also involved in StrikePoint. Can you develop on that and why that transaction happened?
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of a win-win for both companies. Porter is non-core for us. I mean, period. The end. We're focusing in Nevada. Dolly Varden is a golden triangle silver explorer, so it made sense for the two. If we're going to focus in Nevada, let's focus in Nevada, and if they're going to focus in the golden triangle, this is a good asset for them. It also was a non-dilutive way of raising capital for our shareholders. We put about $1.1 million worth of Dolly stock into our treasury, and so we get to spend that money in our core strength area, and they get to spend money in their core strength area. So I think it was a win for everybody.
The inflation and the rising costs, how does that affect your exploration and development of your projects?
What actually affects us the most in the day-to-day right now is the currency exchange rate between Canada and the States, and that has been actually working in our favor in the last little while. And it's similar with the gold price. The U.S. dollar is weakening, and so gold price is going up. The Canadian dollar is going up in U.S. dollar terms. So we've had a bit of a win. We're actually a bit better in our budget than we predicted, just simply on the math of it.
Right. And for those that don't really know about gold and about commodities, there's some generalist retail investors that are flocking into mining stocks. For those of them, Can you give a little rundown of the current gold situation and who's buying gold? You know, like the banks. Some countries are buying, acquiring gold. Some are
Yep.
selling gold. What's the current situation and transaction between gold?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've been able to see, you're seeing a lot of European banks that are buying, and actually, and also probably Southeast Asia as well would be the other main source. I don't know whether they're buying it from the other central banks, whether who's doing divesting, but you're also just seeing the demand is picking up, and that's also part of the share price picture. Yes, US dollar is weakening, but also demand is increasing. People are stockpiling. That safe haven.
Right, 100%. Let's go more into your properties. I know that one of your main properties is the Hercules property.
Yep.
Can you develop on how you found this project and how it all started with this place? I know it's in Nevada, and you're an
Yeah.
expert in that, but yeah, what's the story behind it?
I liked it so much I bought it twice. That's actually an interesting story. In a past life, I had the Hercules Gold Project. It was a different vehicle, and we merged that vehicle off with a producer focusing in Arizona. And one of the things that happened with that is when we had Hercules the first time, it was an early stage exploration project, and it struggled with a lack of predictability when it came to the grade and where the mineralization was coming in the hole. We couldn't quite figure it out. And so we did a second phase program, and it was sort of like, well, this is going to make or break this project, and we'll find out. And then there was an offer to merge. And so you take your geologist hat on off and you put your businessman hat on and you say, okay, let's do this merger and create liquidity and a win for shareholders. And we did that. And then the results for that second phase program came in, and it's like, hold on a second, that actually worked.
Right, and since then you've released some results, right?
Yep.
Can you go through the timeline of the results, the drilling, the analysis you had on this project, and what type of results you got?
Yeah, I mean, the simple timeline is we closed the acquisition in late August. We raised some dough September, October of last year, and then one way or the other, we decided that we were going to push off until 2025 to do the drilling. So we waited until about March. We got out onto the to the property and did our holes, completed it under budget, very quick program, and then we got the results in and we released them. And what we're seeing is, again, it's that predictability that you wanted to see. And then also we got a couple of pleasant surprises is the way that we drilled the targets, we were focusing sort of on new predictable areas, and we got some very significant intercepts.
Right, right. In that regards, let's go back a little bit to the property. Is there potential for expansion? You were saying there's like kilometers of
Yeah,
land.
100%. And that's the thing about Hercules, the Hercules project that is always attractive is the extent of the alteration and the mineralization. Most of the drilling, I'm going to call it, there's 320 holes on the property that we have records for, and 314 of them are what we call the north of the peak, and there's six in the south. The six in the south hit good grades, 20, 30 meters of 0.65, 0.7 grams per ton, but it's really is wide open. And you can go into the south and you can map out veins that are a couple of kilometers strike length at surface. You can pan gold at surface, but they've never been drilled. And so when you see the potential of what we've got in the north, the exploration target for the sake of the argument, 800 between 819 and 1.02 million ounces, and then you see what the expansion potential is on that. Plus, you add into the south strike lengths that we're looking at. We know that there's gold down there, and you could say, okay, there's multi-million ounce potential. It's not a big arm wave. This is simply the math of it all.
Right. And if we look into your financials, I know you said you did mention you did a rollback. What's the cash on hand right now? What's the capital structure as well? Can you go into that with your
41.6
company?
million shares outstanding right now. There's options and warrants that are out there. I believe the average share or strike price for the warrants is about 50 cents. There's a 30-cent round and then there's a 70-cent round. So the math works out to be about 50 cents. And then in terms of cash for the company, cash and liquid securities, which I'll throw the Dolly Varden stock into, is about 1.6 million Canadian. So we've got some runway to do things. We can probably get into the south if we wanted to, but we'll see where we get to in terms of the market right now.
Right, right. And what do you think makes you stand out from any other exploration companies, within Nevada? I know they're with Newmont, you have similar intercepts. What
Yeah.
would really make you stand out?
I think that it goes back to the team, and it's not just a group of egghead geologists drilling holes in Nevada. It's a team that is prides itself on its business savvy and being able to create wins for shareholders and having the track record of having done it.
All right, Michael, thanks so much for the interview. Is there anything else you'd like to add to any current shareholders or interested investors in your company?
Yeah, I mean, interested shareholders can take a look at the website, strikepointgold.com. They can reach out to Knox Henderson or myself. Knox is KH at strikepointgold.com. I'm MA at strikepointgold.com.
All right, we'll add that information in the caption below. And so, anyone interested, feel free to reach out to them. Thanks so much for your time, Michael.
No worries. Thanks for the time, Carlos.